Welcome to the Classroom to the Boardroom podcast, where we dive into minds of visionaries and experts such as yourself to explore how we can equip today's generation with the skills needed to become successful leaders. It could be across diverse themes. Scientific studies show that a mind with no connection between different bits of information uh, to retain concepts and knowledge. At Think Now, we aspire to enable students to connect school's curriculum with their daily life experiences, such as technology, sports, entertainment, e-commerce, rather than having a view with just discrete pieces of information. Our unique decluttering mind model is designed to help students connect these pieces seamlessly, fostering a research-oriented and entrepreneurial mindset. Today, we're thrilled to have a distinguished guest who embodies the true essence of our vision. Joining us is Dr. Sonal, an esteemed faculty member of IIT Roorkee. With a background in chemical engineering and a strong passion for teaching, Sonal Sir is an interdisciplinary research dedicated to resolving energy and environmental issues. His dedication to integrating research with real-world applications aligns perfectly with our vision at Think Now. So without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Sonal. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you.
We'd love to start with just getting to know you a little bit and how your academic and professional journey and what made you become a teacher. Any interesting anecdotes, if you will.
Yeah. Thank you, Aniba. So actually, like why I chose this profession, there are multiple reasons for it. It starts right from my childhood because my father was a professor, and I used to get envy a bit of like how much respect he gets from all the people who are visiting our home. And my mom, she was a doctor, but she never got that respect, at least at home. And maybe even in the hospital, it was not that kind of respect which a teacher used to get. And even when I used to watch movies or I myself used to go to school and get my teachers. And I realized like from that point onwards, like, okay, you can be a police, you can be a thief, you can be a electrical like engineer or a doctor, or even you can go to the army. But I think teaching is one profession which helps create all other professions or which helps you prepare for any other profession. So that sort of had some impression on my mind since childhood that teachers are like the best and maybe teaching is the best profession. And when I did my undergrad, I saw a totally different phase of life. Like obviously I was and like you are like we are in like 18, like 17 in teenagers. We just finish it. And at that stage, we feel like okay, we have grown up enough to take important decisions of our life. So when I saw the experience of 4 years of BTech, I realized and I made a decision that I will never leave this college campus ever. And the only way I could do that was like just go on continuing getting degrees. Like that's why it made me go for MTech after BTech, then PhD, then postdoc, and all at different universities all over the world. And when I finished almost 4 years of postdoc, then then there was a question like, what do I do and what do I do to stay in college campus? The only option that I saw was like becoming a teacher, like a assistant professor to start with. And that's when I started applying for positions at different IITs. And when I got selected at IIT Roorkee, I happily accepted it. And I told this even in my interview that, okay, research, teaching, that's one thing. But the other thing, what my passion is, like I really like to be around young crowd. It's the university campus where you get the best quality of young crowd.
Yeah.
So that's what made me choose the profession. I'm really happy now because even after serving at IIT for like 4 years as a teacher, I never felt like as if I'm a teacher because I felt like I'm a student only, just maybe a little elder student along with other younger students. So I think I'm enjoying this process.
So you also like considering अभी Olympics भी चल रहे हैं तो आप भी बहुत sports खेलते हैं ना तो like how was that helped you shape who you are?
Yeah, that's sorry. I forgot one of the reasons. So one of the reasons was, of course, facilities that we have at all the IITs in India. Like during my PhD at IIT Bombay, I was involved in tennis, swimming, and other field sports also like hockey and football, but that was at the hostel level. At a higher level, it was mainly tennis and swimming. So I continued to play that also, and that was in back of my mind. Like in IITs, we do have very good sports facilities also, along with R&D and teaching infrastructure. So when I was in US, I was pretty damn sure like I want to come back to IIT. क्योंकि अगर IIT में नहीं होता तो शायद मैं इंडिया आता ही नहीं and I would have stayed in US only. But fortunately, my hard work and like efforts paid off, and when I got the positions, and now I do play inter IIT sports, and I represent IIT Roorkee lawn tennis. So my day starts with like playing only. Like we go early morning 6 to 8, and like 2 hours of that sport. It helps me to be cheerful and energetic for the rest of my day, and it also helps me I improve my teaching, like when I interact with students. And also, through sports, I get to meet more students, like whom I may not be teaching, but then they get to know me, and that's all. Like, so there are different avenues for creating different for social groups. And once you are comfortable socially at any place, I think you feel like you are living a very smooth, easy life.
Yeah, 100%. Even what we've noticed in our campus is people who play sports end up excelling in all, aspects of their life because they have that discipline that, it takes to become a sports person. So that's something I'm personally very envious of with people, playing sports at men.
Yeah, and I guess sports it does help a lot mentally and psychologically also. It's not just a physical activity which will help you keep physically fit. But like when I say I play tennis, so we play doubles as well as singles. And when you represent the institute, you represent it as a team. So it teaches us like team spirit also, even though it's the individual sport. And then it helps me improve focus because the speed at which ball comes when someone serves, it's the twitch and you need a proper focus. And you need to focus not only just observing the ball, but to return it properly, keeping it inside the court. So that's where you learn to balance also. And then you make swift actions. So it's a good exercise for mind as well. So I think everyone should do some sport.
Yes, coming to that, like currently we have around 200 million students in the school system in India currently. According to you, what single most crucial skill that children need to acquire today?
So I think at the school level, there are several skills that children can develop because every child is special. Not everyone would be enjoying sports. Not everyone would be enjoying reading and writing. Not everyone would be enjoying the outdoor activities. So there has to be a proper balance so far as school is concerned. And that's when like in our school curriculum also, we never studied one subject. We studied like 8 or 9 subjects, including moral science and ABS and some game-based play and activity. So I think at the school level, all those subjects are equally important. If only after we grow up and go for undergraduation, then we like choose a stream, like where do you want to go and narrow it down. So that time we can categorize which skill is better. But at the school level, I think like multiple skills are important. But so far as teaching curriculum is concerned, as far as India is concerned, I feel we lack on giving hands-on training at the school level. Most of the teaching happens inside classroom using boards and chalk, and some emphasis is given to oral education, where children are made to revise and by heart memorize the poems or rhymes or numbers and equations and all. But activity-based play is still missing. So I think we need to ensure that children get a chance to make their hands dirty and apply the concepts that they learn in the book or in the classroom in real world. So like if we are teaching them about not like dirtying the house or dirtying the environment or protecting the environment, let them get involved in the activity of cleaning the classroom itself. Let students come in the morning, check whether the dustbin is proper or not, whether the dustbin is clean or not, and let them try implement it in their house. Okay, because at that level of early childhood education, children, for them, I think even more than parents, they obey their teachers. My kid is 5 year old. And if I throw a piece of paper just like this in the living room, he comes and says, my teacher said, you should put it in dustbin. At least, so it's good to see that change. Okay. But
Yeah.
there is still more required because he comes and tells me that his teachers tells that you should not throw trash like this. But I would say the best situation would be he himself picks it up and put it back. Instead of just lecturing me that, okay, his teacher told you and I should follow, then I have to tell you, why are you not following? Then I say, it's not my trash, it's your trash, you clean your trash, clean my trash. So that's the today's generation is smart. But I think in education system, we can try to include this activity-based teaching so that whatever skills we impart to children, they know where can they be applied.
Yeah, some sort of like summer training that we, see and hear about in the US. That, children work. It could be some smaller jobs also, but something like that in India.
Yes, I think some schools they do, but I'm talking about the majors, like the majority of the schools, like the entire education system in India, where a big percentage of children they go in like either government schools or not, like the private schools, but not so esteemed private schools as in the metro cities. Okay, so there I think these things need to be inculcated more. Not only just summer camp and like once in occasionally in regular curriculum, it can be included.
So in the last 5 or 6 years, there's been such digital transformation that's very difficult to keep up with the, job opportunities or what could be career options. So what, according to you, are top 3 careers that people can look out for?
So because I work in the area of renewable energy, it's very closely associated with environment and climate change. So I think obviously data science is one thing which is booming at present. Irrespective of whatever branch you choose in engineering, students are taking courses in data science. They are taking some extra additional courses from computer science department because I think this data it's there in almost every sector, whether you are in chemical, manufacturing, civil, there is a lot of data. And for developing new products, for developing new technology, and to formulate new policies in any sector, you need like a lot of data-based decisions. So that data is used for making decisions to further grow your business or to formulate policies. So that's one thing which is at the peak for sure. There is no doubt. Everyone would agree to that. But the other two domains I would suggest, it's one is the environment, especially sustainability, and other is third is the renewable energy. Because if you look at the like the entire world is moving towards decarbonization and protecting the climate, India also has its goals set to 2070. So when we set a goal of zero carbon emission to like say after 45 years, so this 45 years, there will be a lot of effort going in that direction. And renewable energy is going to be the front runner. So if students who are taking, I'm talking only about engineering and science background. So if those who are taking any branch, like the mechanical, electrical, civil, and if they find applications in the energy sectors, particularly in renewable energy, solar, wind, biomass, waste to energy, all of this, they have good prospect. In terms of environment, or climate change or sustainability, it is like sustainability is not only about environment. There are 3 pillars to it: society, economy, and environment. So all 3 pillars are important. Like when nowadays companies, like all the big major companies all over the globe, they have a separate department of sustainability, whose job is to make sure that the company is having a very good social standard. There is no gender discrimination, there is no female discrimination, there is the diversity, there is safety, well-being, the well-being of employees is being looked after. Okay, that's the social angle. Then there is an economic angle, obviously. That's the most important thing for top management, that they have to capture more and more market, earn more revenue and profit. Uh, but in that also, they have started making their production efficient with producing minimum waste and emissions. So in that way, in addition to improving their economy, they are also trying to contribute to protection of environment. So these three domains of sustainability, they will need experts not only from science and engineering background, but also from HR background or arts background or management background, where people will be trained in how to manage these three domains of sustainability. So I would rank it like this, like the database jobs, the data science based jobs in the IT sector, the renewable energy, and third would be sustainability.
Okay. Yeah, even recently the companies with sustainability as their measure and the stock price also going up. So I think even if you want to do a business, that could be a good line to go into.
Yeah, now as people talk about carbon rates and also all the companies which are going and which are emitting more, like especially power industry, steel, iron industry, in the transportation sector, they would be made compliant or like, and there would be regulations imposed in future that they cannot emit more emissions than this particular limit. And in that case, these concepts of ESG, environmental social governance, as well as gaining carbon credit or paying value, monetary value to those who are working on protecting the environment or who works on the good green, clean technologies which contribute to saving the environment. So if monetary values are being given to them, then it's a very good shared responsibility. So I think, yeah, that is going to be the picture.
So in your, in the teaching profession, what are the three life skills that is required?
For being to choose a teaching profession. Yeah. So
teaching or like the research.
Yeah, so I'll answer this like based on the teaching position in a typical engineering college in India. So like in IITs, NITs, and the state government colleges, and some good private engineering colleges, there is almost equal emphasis on teaching and research when they hire a faculty member. And that's why like PhD is mandatory. Like if you want to become a faculty in engineering, PhD is mandatory. It means like that person has underway training of how to do a research on a given topic and ability to guide or supervise new PhD students or master students. That typically comes with experience. And it's also some inherent characteristic which you develop over a period of years, like since in childhood, if you have been the monitor or if you have been leading the project, and all. So those some traits help you in this thing. And teaching is something also it comes inherently with practice over all the years. Like when you do undergrad, masters, PhD, there are lots of presentations that we give, which helps us train to speak in front of a lot of people and then address the queries asked on our own work. Similar is in the teaching. Like if you know that concept, we can teach it very well. And if we don't know, we can prepare it and then go teach. And it's not like when you become a teacher, you teach one subject once and then stop. You have to keep teaching that for 20, 30 years. So every time you teach a subject, second time, third time, it goes on, the level goes on improving and we ourselves feel it. So if you rate it in terms of like say 1 to 10, maybe some people start at the level of 1 and then they go to 2, 3, 4, 5. Some may start at level 3 in terms of like teaching expertise and then they will progress. So it's a gradual process. So I would say like someone who starts at 1 cannot be a teacher or cannot go into teaching. Like. So, but for the esteemed institutes in India, I would say like you should have a passion for research also. Because unlike teaching, which will come with practice, the research acumen has to be developed. And for that, some efforts are required. A lot of reading is required. You need to be like aware of what's happening in your field. You need to keep your reading the recent research papers, the review articles. And review articles are a very good point of source to know what has been done in some area and what needs to be done. I hit that review article is published in a good channel and written by a very good group of people. They will summarize what has been done in that area and what can be or what needs to be done in future. From that, we can get some ideas, and then it's all upon like how you channelize your energy, how you guide and train your students, develop your lab, and start working on that problem. Because in at least in chemical engineering, energy science engineering, every problem needs 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of hard work if it is experimental
Minimum,
to get something innovative out of it. But yeah, I think those are the skill sets which you need. So passion for research, passion for teaching, and in institute as a teacher, the third aspect is managerial or admin duties. There are a lot of admin duties right teachers are supposed to do. Like I can be a warden of some institution, like some hospital. I can be like a wellness officer for something. There can be some like conferences or meetings which I need to organize. So the teacher will develop the managerial administrative aspects of them over a period of time. So these are the 3 types of skills which are required. But to start with, I think teaching and research are important. The managerial and admin thing will come with time.
It's the managerial and admin thing is like an option duty, or do you have to do it mandatorily?
No, it's not optional. It depends on like how much manpower we have. Like if it's a small department, then there may be some things like managing lab, like buying and purchasing things, procuring items like chemicals and all, which would be done by faculty themselves. If it's a big department with a lot of support staff, non-teaching staff, they can do those things for you. But then again, if it's about like say organizing a international level conference of very good support reputation, we cannot assign it to someone else who is not working in that area.
Assign it to others.
It's good that a faculty takes the lead and makes a team of students. And then many times, even in teaching and research and in the department, when you become a head of the department or warden of the hostel, there are many disputes which happen between students, between staff, between faculty colleagues. That also needs to be addressed. And for that, you need to be in a very good state of mind and aware of like what the consequences will be, like whatever action I take, what are the consequences going to be. So ethics is also important. So I think, those things do come gradually with time, but some people may be very good in one of the skills right from the beginning. Yeah. And there may be some exceptions who are like just excellent at all the skills that are required.
Yeah, I think that'll come with time, I'm sure. In your opinion, like, so back when you were in school, what are the things that you think if like, agar ye hota, so it would have like helped me in my professional career now? What were the things that were missing that hampered your growth as a research professor today?
Like when I was in school, at that time, I never thought like that. I really enjoyed and liked school. I like to stay in school as much as I can. I never liked Sundays. I liked Sundays till I was in class 5. But right from class 6 to class 10, I wanted to be in school. Like when you have a good friend circle and you start having good time in school, I think it's more fun in school. So I don't have any, I didn't have any like a regret or I don't find anything missing in my school when I was there. But if I reflect on it now, and if I realize like what things would have been there which could have helped me make or grow further or help me in my life, I think one thing is what I would say, like the student, like what happens in schools, students are given no power, no responsibility. They are mostly made to follow and obey. And maybe the discipline and obedience is something which needs to be taught in school. So that way the curriculum is designed. But there should have been some activities students are asked to become like leaders. There used to be some positions like class monitor is there, school captain is there. But then out of 1,000 students, only 10 or 12 were getting that position. What about other 990 students? So they never got a
Yeah.
chance to lead or to showcase their or to develop their skills on like by giving a speech on stage or something like that. So and that was not mandatory also in school. What was mandatory was reading, studying, giving exam, getting marks, having attendance. I used to do a lot. I used to sing,
Yeah.
dance. I used to participate in debate. I did everything, but it came from within. But I know like there were a lot of friends of mine who never wanted to go on stage. And
Fear of
yes,
communication, stage
so I
fright.
think that push should be there in the school uh, to like remove that fear of peers and community for all the students, and not just someone who is bright doesn't need. It doesn't depend like what kind of school they are in. So I think major. So
Yeah.
had my school like been working on like pushing everyone on the stage and removing that fear, I think like if in my batch like say 50 students were there right now, 25 are doing good. Maybe 40 or 45 would have been doing much better now. So I would see it in that context. So I think schools need to push even the weakest student and give him or her the opportunity to overcome their fear. So that's the one thing I would suggest students.
Okay. So were there any like, because you're doing research now, were there any small problems that you face in your day-to-day life back in school that you made like a fun solution out of, or you solved it in a very knacky way?
I think I just remembered once like in our school the tap and the drinking water tap, it was broken and there was a water leakage happening. And in school, like we could tell our teachers, but then teacher would tell to someone else. And so the one way was that. Other way was we can try to fix ourselves. So me and my friend, it was the tap like which you just leave, it will start the water will start flowing. If you leave it, it will stop the flow. So maybe something might have got to loosen. And me and my friend, we were in class 4th or 5th, I remember, and we thought of like fixing it ourselves. So first we went and just tried to tie, and then I don't know, suddenly I thought like maybe it will loose, we should tighten it. So we took a stone and started hitting it. So whatever was there, that also broke. And earlier, like water was maybe leaking with like little drop by drop, and now it started overflowing like with the full flow. And at that time, first we got scared, we increased the size of the problem. We made the problem worse when we tried to solve it. But within a minute, something clicked, and I thought, oh, now the solution is more simple. Because now, since the entire tap was broken, that we could see the pipe through which water was coming out. So we just went in, took a stick, tied the same plastic and the thread rope, and we just inserted it in the pipe, and the whole water flow was stopped. So I think so. That's what I think. I think if we try, sometimes things may go wrong, but sometimes things may go right also. So we were happy that we could solve the problem. We were scared that we broke the entire tap, but then we realized that anyway it was leaking. So once we fixed it, we informed the school staff. The first thing which they did was they scolded us, like, why did you break the tap? But there was one teacher, our vice principal, who really appreciated us. And they say at least these students found the problem and they tried to fix. And even though they broke the tap, later they fixed the water leakage. So that teacher still has that impression on my mind. So I think, that was that's the one incident I remember.
Yeah, so we should attempt to solve problem, like not.
There are many problems which are very small and which doesn't really need technology or something, but we just need rational thinking. And I think more than that, it needs willpower or desire to solve that problem. And again, in that overcoming that fear of getting scolded by someone, that is important. Had we got scared by, okay, it's a school step, it's not my home tap, why should I go and bother? We could have just left it and gone back or like ignored it. But I think sometimes you have to take risks, and if it works out well, it's good. If it doesn't work out well, you still get a learning that you failed. And if you find a similar problem in future, how should you go and approach that? So I think in either case, there is a learning.
And yeah, 100%. So we'll move on to the next section where, we do like a fun activity. So how do research questions or research methodologies come up with? And I'm sure you know this very perfectly already. So we can start with something like, sports shoes. And we talk about how the discovery of sports shoes, even came about. So I'll ask you something like, I'll mention the objective sports shoes. And then I'll ask you questions on like, what are the gaps or pain points that, came up that helped the researchers come up with this? What were the unanswered questions? What were the experimental trials? And one by one, we'll solve this to come up with a final discovery on just sports. So we'll start with that. So according to you, what were the pain points that were earlier experienced before sports shoes were, invented?
Okay, so I have to make a guess, right?
Yeah, like some research questions that come to
Okay,
your mind.
so I think first I will decide like what category of sports are we looking for. Is it an indoor sport or outdoor sport? Because for outdoor sports, the shoes would be different. For indoor, shoes will be different. So let's say we go with the outdoor one.
Okay.
So we will see that first of all, it has a lot of strength. It is made up of material which do not like absorb water and stay wet for a long time. Then the sole of the shoe, whether it's slippery or non-slippery, then mass of the shoes, okay, and then the overall design, whether it's comfortable or not. So I think, yeah, these are some factors based on which we will formulate a problem.
Okay. So typically taking outdoor situations and you broke it into outdoor and indoor because unke functionality is
Yeah,
different.
obviously, yeah. Because outdoor we have to take care into account environmental factors also.
And indoor that will be controlled. Yes. What will be the unanswered question when we get to these research?
So suppose like if it's for running, so people would prefer lighter shoes. But if it is for like say football, people would prefer heavier shoes with spikes in it so that they don't get slip on the grass. So I think it when I say outdoor sports also for individual sports, the shoes functionality changes. The purpose of wearing that shoes changes. So let's take example of football. So football, it happens even if there is rain, the matches do not get cancelled. So irrespective of field is dry or wet, the football matches happen. So you need shoes with spike and also with some plastic coating, not the cloth. And there can be a layer of cloth inside and some plastic coating so that it doesn't feel wet and athlete's shoes or the socks, they don't get wet. That is one thing. Spikes is other thing. But I think in all that, the comfort and the height of those spikes as well as sole, that is something which people won't have thought. Because when I start wearing football shoes, many shoes I wear, my heels start getting, it start getting pain. It starts to pain. So I think that is one thing which could have been thought better. Like what would be the size of the back heel, the shape of the the heel portion of the foot. That is one thing I think it's an answer. The other thing is like maybe some fluorescent colors so that they are visible in night. So that is other thing. Yeah, those are the two things I feel.
So if we had to conduct experiments or trials to sort of answer these questions, what would those experiments look like?
Okay, so that's a difficult one. But here we go mostly trial and error, mostly based on the survey base. Like we would have at least 10 people of different height and weight and different feet sizes coming and testing the shoes that we make and asking them whether they can walk and they can run and they can do the movement that are required in football. And then when we ask, I just took the number 10, it can be 100 also. When we ask them, like, how do they feel? They would tell me, okay, this is better, this is bad. So based on their interpretation, I would get to know which part of that shoes or heels or the sole he need more improvement. Because if a product is wrong in one aspect, I think majority of the customers or clients would identify that one aspect for sure. So based on those 100 responses, I can figure out if I get a list of say 3 problems. And so if the most important problem would be identified by almost everyone or majority. So that problem would be solved first, and then second problem, and then third problem. And that also needs to be like investigated whether while I solve one problem, whether if I'm creating other problem or not. Because sometimes it happens like, okay, like someone wants foam in the shoe. If I put the foam, but then if the foam is absorbing water and keeping the shoes wet for a long time, then that's the other problem. So while solving the mentioned problems, I need to edge, and that's why that feedback is very important. So after that problem is solved, again, it will be the part of the experiment only. I argue it to the same 100 people and ask them, check now and see if you feel the same problem or if you feel some new problems or is it perfect. So that's how the experimental plans are like made and designed.
Okay. So the potential benefits you've already discussed that if if we get it at night, the glow in the dark that we can see it at night as well.
So then that's a very simple problem to be solved. We can just have a layer outside the shoes. You don't for that. It's just a matter of aesthetic and how it looks to people
Design.
at night.
Okay.
Because it don't have much impact on someone who is wearing it, but it will have an impact on someone who is watching it from far. Like suppose if there are small kids who are playing football at night, and suddenly the light turn off, it gets switch off. So then it would be easy for parents to identify, okay, my kids are playing there. I could see those shoes, fluorescent light getting sparks. Okay. Sometimes children or players, they don't carry an extra pair of shoes. Like typically, like when you go carry a football kit, you carry it in the bag, you have your own sports shoes. But sometimes they just wear it from home and go at night in dark, it will be helpful.
Yeah, I think especially because there's spikes in the football shoes, it's very important because, and especially young children, they'll just keep playing with it and then hurt each other. If they're not careful.
So that thing is there. So in that case, the spikes can be made in such a way that they are not so pointed, because the purpose of spike is just to hold grip on the ground and not to hit not to make a hole in the ground. Okay. So I remember earlier spikes used to be very pointed, but nowadays spikes are not pointed. The point is cut off. It's slightly tapered, but it's not pointed. Okay.
They've taken care of that.
So that is one thing which is for safety of others as well as for safety of someone who's wearing.
Okay. You can. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. It was amazing. मतलब मेरे को बहुत अच्छा conversation था ये and had so much fun.